Welcome to Let's Talk Portsmouth, a new communications enterprise developed by the City of Portsmouth's Marketing and Communications Division. If you're interested in Portsmouth news and information, public concerns, and other relevant topics that could impact your life, Let's Talk Portsmouth is the podcast for you. We'll talk city business, including interviews with city administrators, hold discussions with civic and community organizations, and converse with newsmakers from around the state on topics close to home and heart. Now, here's your host, Sharon Hoggart.
All right. Hello, everyone out there in podcast land. Welcome to Let's Talk Portsmouth, the podcast that's all about local government, community, and headlines in the news. I'm your host, Sharon Hoggart from the city's Marketing and Communications Department. We've got another great interview for you today. So in this episode of Let's Talk Portsmouth, we're talking with Ms. Janice Douglass-Ellis, Chief of Services at the Portsmouth Department of Social Services. And this discussion is about an important service to the community. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this important message.
Hey, Dad, your prescription will be ready in just a minute. Hey, Dad, your laundry will be ready in just a minute. Dad, your lunch will be ready in just a minute.
Hey, honey, why don't you take a minute? When you help care for a loved one, you give them as much time as you can, but it's just as important to take time for yourself. AARP can help. Find free care guides to support you and your loved one at aarp.org/caregiving. That's aarp.org/caregiving. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Okay, everybody, we're back. And in case you forgot what podcast you're listening to, this is Let's Talk Portsmouth. As promised at the top of the show, joining us today on the podcast is Janice Douglass-Ellis from the Department of Social Services. We're also hoping to be joined by Mr. Darrell Redmond later in the program, so stand by. Welcome, and as is our custom, Miss Ellis, we like to get our guests warmed up for an interview by asking an icebreaker question. So, how long have you been with the Department of Social Services? And give us a little bit about your background, education, and professional experience.
Well, good morning to you as well. I want to start off by saying hello to everyone, and from Portsmouth Department of Social Services and from the Portsmouth Reentry Council. I have been with the Department of Social Services since September of 2019.
And tell us some more about your education and professional experience.
All right. I am a graduate of Tennessee State University and Meharry Medical College located in Nashville, Tennessee, where I received my bachelor's degree in certification in healthcare administration and planning. Then I later received my master's from the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, Tennessee, where I received my master's of science of social work. And I have 35 years of experience in child welfare, starting from being a worker, doing different aspects of child welfare, and working within the community.
Okay. Is this besides, is the Portsmouth Reentry Council, is that part of your regular duties with social services, or do you have another avenue that you're involved in there?
Well, as being the chief of services, this is in addition to, and the Portsmouth Reentry Council is a secondary piece to my job, okay, but it's a very important piece to what I do.
Okay. All right. So now, besides those duties with the Portsmouth Social Services Department, you serve on the Reentry Council. So tell our audience today what the Portsmouth Reentry Council is and what it does.
Well, the council itself consists of a collection of representatives of agencies and organizations that deliver services to persons who have been previously incarcerated and returning citizens. Our goal is to share information and fill the gap from the time they're discharged from incarceration until when they're returning home. And we'll want to be as a support system to those individuals in our own community to give them a roadmap so that they can be on to a healthy start.
Mm-hmm. I just found out about the Portsmouth Reentry Council when I spoke with the interim director for DSS here in Portsmouth. How long has this body been active?
Well, to my knowledge, it started out, every city was given, I'm going to say it started around 2011.
Okay.
Where everybody, I want to start when Governor McDonald started the whole process and movement toward the reentry program. And every city has their own. And so as they developed in and grow into moving with the community, I say that this one has been in it for about 5 years.
Okay. Is this a Department of Corrections sponsored program? And if not, what state agency has oversight for the reentry project?
The direction of the directive or direction in which it's coming from is from the Department of Corrections, but the Office of the Attorney General is the one that is guiding and overseeing the programs, the reentry program. Direct Department of Corrections, of course, is bigly involved because once those individuals are discharged from the facility and they have pre-release trainings and assessments and giving some information before they leave the doors, then that's when the Reentry Council comes aboard and fill in those gaps so that they can transition into the community.
Okay. So the council's mission is to reintegrate returning citizens to the community. I want to ask you a twofold question in this one.
Yes, ma'am.
The returning citizens, that's a euphemism for somebody who's been incarcerated, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so how does the council accomplish this mission of reintegrating these citizens back into the community?
Well, we staff the cases. Any citizen is welcome to participate, of those who are involved in other agencies that provide services to the reentering citizens. We link to employment or workforce development services. We assist with locating housing resources, mental health services. We help to connect to services that are needed by that person within that community. And we look at services that help them to be more integrated and have a stronger family system. We integrate all types of services to support that person when they're returning back to the community.
And these services that you integrate, they are from different agencies from around the Commonwealth, around the city of Portsmouth?
Around the city of Portsmouth, yes, ma'am, it is. Because we have a lot of community partners, a lot that I cannot even list, but they are available to help and support by referral within. If a citizen came to the council, which is open, they would come in with their issues, and then there are people who are sitting around the table. Once that person speaks of what they need, then that individual is given information and contact so that they can move throughout the systems.
And just so our listeners would know, Ms. Ellis and I talked earlier this morning, and we're going to develop a series that brings in these partners that help with the Reentry Council, help to integrate our returning citizens back to the community. So stand by for that. We'll be giving you more information on that later on. So what kind of obstacles do returning citizens face in the community? We know that employment is a big issue, but what other kind of challenges do they face?
Well, one of them is returning back to the rightful position as father or mother. Time does not wait on anyone, and a lot of changes come about when they come home. So that's the first stressor, because those support systems or children or family have changed and have grown. And so that person has to adjust to the whole new family life. Number two, you got to start looking for employment. That's a big thing coming back. You're looking at family counseling, you're looking at employment services, mental health services, medical issues, technology. You know, maybe when that person went in, say you went in 10 years ago, technology has grown. So that's where adult education comes in. So there's a lot of barriers that one person faced, because the unknown is really a difficult thing for them to come into. And so that's the whole purpose of the reentry program, to try to support them so that they don't feel like they're alone with their family systems, if there is support.
Ms. Ellis, could you give us an example of how you would help a returning citizen reintegrate with their family and their role as a mother or a father?
Well, one of the things you have to do is, realize that you need counseling. Family counseling, coming back, he or she is not the same person that left. Children have grown up, and so counseling would be a very good start for that family, by sitting down and realizing this is not what it used to be when I left. So the responsibilities have already been assigned. Assignments in the home have already been given to others. So in order for you to get your position back, you have to be stationary and be able to maintain a job, looking for a job and the support that they need, and getting the support they need, getting your mental health or your medical where you need to be able to file if you need to get food stamps or you need to get Social Security if you were on it prior. So those types of things are very important. They really need mentors. I wish we had more mentors in the community that could support some of the young men and women that are returning back.
What's required to be a mentor?
To have veteran services, women's services. It's just a lot that they need that when they come out, they have to start trying to find those areas to connect to. And so with the council, we try to have those people at the table so when they come out, we are able to help, whether it's with NAMI or different agency. Even child support is at the table. Driving improvement, looking at shelters if there's nowhere for you to go. So we have people at the table that could help them design their roadmap to being successful. They are not alone.
Did you say driving improvement?
Come forth, we really want to help.
Did you say driving improvement?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am. They have all types of services that are available to them.
Okay. And let's talk about mentors. Let's talk about mentors for a minute. What kind of mentors is the Reentry Council looking for to help these men and women?
Well, we will want strong men and women that are understanding. Some people have been successful that have been incarcerated. It would be nice to have more of those in the people who have been, incarcerated and have been successful so that you can see someone like yourself growing and being productive citizens. That is the type of mentors. But any man or woman who wants to help would be appreciated.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, let's go ahead and give the people some information now. If somebody wants to volunteer as a mentor to help someone re-entering the community, how do they go about getting more information and reaching out to the council?
They may contact me. My name, again, is Janice Douglass-Ellis, and you may contact me at 405-1800, extension 8725.
Okay. Does the Portsmouth Reentry Council have a website aside from the link that's on the City of Portsmouth website?
Yes, ma'am. It's on the city. We only have one. It's on the City of Portsmouth website, but we also have pamphlets available that different departments may have. Department of Corrections, Department of Juvenile Justice. We have some more in print. We're getting ready to put them out so people can have them and be aware of our council.
Okay.
We try to make word of mouth. That's how we've been getting the information out. And now Let's Talk Portsmouth is helping us as well.
Okay. That's a plug for Let's Talk Portsmouth. All right now. Okay, now I want you to actually list the names of some of the community partners that work with the Portsmouth Reentry Council to achieve that goal, so we can get a list.
We have TCC Workforce Development.
Mm-hmm.
We have VDSS Child Support, Department of Corrections, Hampton Roads Regional Jail, Hampton Roads Community Health Center, Opportunity Inc., Step Up Inc. We have the Police Department, the Adult Education Department from Portsmouth Public Schools, the Sheriff's Office. Faith-based communities are involved, DARS. So it's just, those are the type 211. We have NAMI. And Social Security Administration.
All right, so we have to get a list together for that, so we can do our series on getting the Portsmouth Reentry Council and their partners some information, get some publicity for them to help these men and women re-enter into our communities. How many returning citizens did the Portsmouth Reentry Council serve in 2021, and what are your expectations for this year?
Well, because of the pandemic, it had been very hard, so we were not able to be as active because of the pandemic. But we're hoping that our expectations We don't have an expectation. We just want people to come.
Okay.
Because of the pandemic, it did put the agency and the council in a position where we could not meet. But now we are growing and we're opening back. We would like more returning citizens to get in contact with me so that we can bring you to our council meetings and support you.
When and how
Support
often
them.
does the council meet?
We meet on the first Thursday of every month.
Okay.
And we're right now on a virtual platform, but if you get in contact with me, we will be able to connect you on the virtual platform.
Okay.
If you have some questions or supportive information, we'd be more than glad to have you to participate.
Okay.
The citizens. Yes.
All right. All right. Ms. Ellis, stay with us on the line. Everybody else, keep it locked right here on Let's Talk Portsmouth. Got to take a pause for the cause. Be right back.
Here's today's STEM tip. Don't throw out that old plastic bottle. Repurpose it by turning it into an awesome terrarium. Just fill it with sand, pebbles, soil, and your favorite plant. It'll grow sealed right in its own ecosystem. Learn more at She Can STEM. A message from the Ad Council.
Okay, we're back. Thanks for hanging with us for this final segment of Let's Talk Portsmouth. We're discussing Portsmouth's Reentry Council program for returning citizens. Our other guest has not joined us, so we're going to have to move on. Ms. Ellis, what is the Reentry Council doing to raise awareness of the organization's work in the community besides appearing on Let's Talk Portsmouth?
Well, currently we are spreading the word through all the organizations that are participating in the Department of Justice, Department of Corrections. In our area, we have our website and we have media pamphlets that we have available and would share with the community, and it's located in different areas of the city.
Okay. We already asked you about the Virginia Department of Corrections. Can you explain a little further about their role in this program?
Well, the returning citizens are being discharged from that facility, and of course they guide them. They do pre-release planning, and they do things to prepare them to come into the community. So it is a joint venture between the two. If you can remember, Governor McDonald started the Department of Correction and Juvenile Justice to be involved in the youth that participate, youth and adults that were re-entering into the community. That was the goal for the councils to be in place. And so the Department of Corrections is a very vital part of this Reentry Council. Like Hampton Roads Regional Jail and the Sheriff's Department, we're just looking at public safety as a whole. So they are a very big part of public safety and the relationship with human services.
Okay. And my next two questions you've already answered, but I'm going to get you to reiterate it for our listening audience, just in case they missed it. The Portsmouth Reentry Council, when do they meet? How often? And how can people get involved?
Okay, it's the first Thursday of every month. We are on a virtual platform. If anyone would like to join us, you may call me at 405-1800, extension 8725, and we would set up for you to participate in the council. First Thursday of every month.
Okay. And Ms. Ellis, we're going to give you a chance to wrap it up in a few minutes, but we're going to take another break right quick, so stand by.
Everyone, Al Roker here. As a guy with his own catchphrase, I appreciate that Smokey's only said,
only you can prevent wildfires.
But I'm filling in because there's a lot more to report. Like when there are parched or windy conditions out there, you gotta be extra careful with things like burning yard waste. After all, wildfires can start anywhere, even in your neck of the woods. Go to SmokeyBear.com to learn more about wildfire prevention. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Okay, we're back, and you're listening to Let's Talk Portsmouth, the podcast. We're about to wrap up. So, Ms. Janice Douglass-Ellis, thank you so much for joining us today. Any final thoughts you want to leave our listening audience?
Yes, I want everyone to know that the Portsmouth Reentry goals are so that they understand. It's promoting public awareness to the Portsmouth Reentry Council, provide services to the families of our returning citizens and the community, Networking is very important with establishing the reentry councils to coordinate resources and develop resources for the unmet needs. And that is our goal, to try to support and to be there for the citizens that are returning back home.
Okay, that's a wonderful wrap. Thank you so much. Okay, well, that's going to do it for another episode of our podcast. Visit podbean.com for this episode and others, and listen and download Let's Talk Portsmouth wherever you listen to your podcasts. Here's your thought for today. To live is the rarest thing in the world. Most people exist. That is all. Blame that one on Oscar Wilde. See you next time. We're out of here.
Thanks for listening to Let's Talk Portsmouth, the podcast that's about the city of Portsmouth and our connections around the globe. Listen and download our next episode for more news you can use and information that may just change your perspective. Find our podcast where you find quality podcasts, the Podbean app, Spotify, and Amazon Music Audible. Until next time, take care.